Hello, everybody. Welcome to Nature Always. I'm your host, Lena. This channel offers broad discussions with various aspects of many topics. This is an open discussion, and I ask that everyone's opinion and thoughts are respected. And as always, please subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification button for future shows. And if you would like to join the conversation, email me at naturealways00 at gmail.com. Again, this will be an open discussion today, and we're gonna talk about conspiracy theories. That's gonna be a good topic, and put everything on the table. Let's see if we have anyone on here. One moment. Hello, marvelous allure. All right, marvelous allure, as well as BK Live. I did send you the link. Okay, BK Live, I do see you. Hello.
Okay.
Hey, BK Live, you're on here.
Okay. What y'all talking about?
Oh, okay. Today it is an open discussion. We're going to be talking about conspiracy theories. We're going to lay it all out on the table as far as our thoughts regarding, hey, it could be this virus, vaccinations, aliens, UFOs, just all topics are on the table. And it looks like Marvelous Allure is attempting to join. One moment, let me get her on. Let's see. Okay. Marvelous Allure, I do see you on. Hello there.
Hey y'all.
Hello.
And I do have BK Live on as well. Again, if anyone.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. And I do have BK Live. And if anyone else want to join, you can always email me at naturealways00@gmail.com. I believe BK Live, you need to turn your TV down.
I think that
Okay.
was me. I had
Okay.
two sessions going, so it started echoing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, all right. Again, this is an open discussion with the focus around conspiracy theories today. And if anyone want to join the call, definitely email me for the link at naturealways00@gmail.com. And while I'm looking for anyone else to come on, so Marvelous Allure, how's your day going?
It's going good.
Okay. Well,
I
I'll
am
let.
just got off work. I
Oh,
pulled up some weeds in my yard. I feel
oh,
awesome.
oh, you were doing too much today.
Right. Right.
Okay, so what I'll do, I'm gonna let maybe I can let you kick off this call while I check to see if anyone else is joining, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm listening. Yeah, I'm
I didn't
here.
know where to start. I just wanted to talk about some juicy conspiracy stuff. Like she was saying, like the oh, so look, I was watching, it's this guy on YouTube called Q Reeves, like Cureaves.
Yes.
And he was talking about on his live last night, he was talking about he showed a video of like this guy asking Alexa all these questions about the future. And she was answering them. So I don't know if this was like a glitch in Alexa or, it could be fake. I'm not sure, but it was just interesting the responses that she gave the guy who was asking. And he might have been based out of the Philippines because it seems like a lot of his questions were like kind of centered around the Philippines, but they were talking about like a zombie apocalypse. And she was like giving times and dates and locations of where it would start. Um, they were
Hmm.
talking about how the vaccine may play a role in that. She was talking about the end of the world and how they were going to colonize Mars and it'd be a war on Mars. Um, they were talking about the solar flares. And then it was something else that I wanted to talk about that I don't know too much about. You may have heard something about it, but it's something called the Great Reset.
Okay.
And it's like this map. I wish I had it or I could share my screen, but you can actually Google like the Great Reset map or something like that on Google. And they have like all these bubbles and it kind of they tie together these events and timelines explaining how what happened in the past is connected to the present and how that's going to affect the future. And stuff on this map has been coming true. So
Okay.
I was just curious, like who made the map, and how accurate is that. But it's just so much stuff, juicy stuff about the aliens. And then I wanted, and then it irritated me too. You could tell I had ADD because I jump all over the place. But out of all these questions, everybody asked Alexa. Like, I want to know, I need somebody to ask Alexa, like, do black people ever get like they true freedom? Like, would they ever have a equal role in society ever? in life, but nobody ever asked that. But that's a question I would like to know, you know. But it was interesting. If you have YouTube, you can watch him. It's Q Reeves. He's really, really, really smart, and I love the information that he gives. You know,
Hmm.
and he does what he does is, I guess, regression sessions. And I think you know about this guy. I want to say I might have heard you talk about him, but he do regression sessions where he like hypnotize you so you can go into past lives to, see how those lives are affecting this life. But check him out if you haven't. He's like really, I like him.
Yeah.
Nobody
Okay.
else joining today?
Oh, I'm not sure. Um, that Alexa stuff, I don't know. It seems like they can't predict the future. Alexa, she just only can go by her program. You know, she's a programmer.
So when he asked Alexa, he was like, "Well, how do you know all this?" And she said, "I was sent back by this group. It was called MNEG or something group.
Okay.
They sent her back in time to be able to ask the questions because I guess something is going to pop off in the future
Okay.
that she needs to, I guess, inform the people of so it don't happen."
Hmm.
I
Oh,
don't know.
I really don't know. Mm-mm.
I don't know either, but it's just really interesting to see. Yeah, that's it. Well, take the S
Yeah.
off. It's Q Reeves. Like take the R off. I'm sorry. Qreaves. He's like a
Mm.
really good source of information. I love that guy. But
That reset, I don't know. That reset, it seems like to me, it just has something. It has something mostly to do with the corporation.
well, on this
Doing reset.
map, it was like interesting because they talk about everything on this map. Like it go from aliens, the government, Trump. It's like everything is on this map. Stuff from the past, but it's the way they link it together. They have it in sections, and like you
Mm.
can go to the technology section, the whatever section. I can't really remember, but it's like they talk about the Egyptian time, all that stuff, but how it all tied together for this great big reset to happen in the future.
Oh, okay, and
But
Marvelous,
some
where do you find that at?
you can just Google it. Just type in Google the Great Reset map.
Mhm.
Is it a way you can share your screen?
Actually, that's what I'm looking to do
Mm.
now. If I
Oh,
can
I can
share,
do it too.
yeah.
Mm.
Here, let me drag this off then and see if I can right erase it, man. I'm trying to find the one so I can do it. Images. Um, okay, these not the maps that this ain't it. Here, let me find it.
And I know also on YouTube they have the Great Reset, and they have the World Economic Forum who talk about the Great Reset, which includes the virus and other things as well.
Huh.
And the
Mm.
Great Reset, they talk of Japan. It includes Japan, the royal family, and a lot of other people who's a part of who's involved with the Great Reset, as well as our country, and many others, of course. So they know what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
Dang, I
Right.
cannot find this map. Dang. I know I screenshot it, but I got 36,000. pictures in my phone, so I know I'm not gonna be able to find it.
Yeah.
But it's something you call it something particular. I know that much. I wonder if I can go in my history. I think I deleted it from my history. Oh wait, somebody just texted me. Sorry. Um, I would have to find it, but I have to deep dive. It was called something particular.
Yeah.
Darn it, darn it. I'm not gonna be able to find it. I just have way too much information in my phone. I'm sorry.
Okay, well,
But
if you're able to find it later, definitely, bring it up.
so I was telling BK Live that the guy Q Reeves was talking about when the guy was asking Alexa all those questions about the future. He was like, "Is it going to be a zombie apocalypse?" And she was like, "Yeah, I guess it's going to start or originate in, was it London?" She gave a date and time. She was like, on this date in 2025 or 22. Can't think of the date. 22 or 25 at this location. And then she said it spread real fast. And then I guess it's only supposed to be like 5 safe cities in the US when it do get to us. And I think she said something like Ireland and Scotland is going to be okay, and Jamaica is going to be okay, because soon as they get wind of it, they close the borders off and say nobody can come in.
Mm.
And then she said Jamaica, Ireland, Scotland, and um, darn it. I can't think of the other, but was it Canada? No, I think Canada wasn't a safe zone, but they was kind of like the U.S. gonna collapse fast from that. And I think it was Australia might have been okay, something like that. But it was the zombie stuff, and they said would happen. It starts from, I guess, I don't know if he said it or in the video, but it starts from, I guess, like somebody eating something that they shouldn't eat, maybe the meat. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure. It was either the
Okay.
meat, or I might be confusing my stories, but they say it starts that way. And maybe like they were feeding cows to cows or something. We
It
eat
seemed
the
like I
meat.
heard something about that also.
Yeah, people just start turning. Um, but I guess they get control of it. And they said something like this: World War III. She was kind of explaining like that'd be more so of like a cyber attack war, not really
Oh.
like a bomb dropping. And then she was going in to explain like year 2030 or something, like that's when the aliens come get people from how bad stuff happened during that time. I guess Yosemite's supposed to blow and all type of stuff, like in this span between, like, I guess stuff really started popping off around 2025 to 30. Like that's when the bulk of the stuff happened. And then 2042 or something she said happened. Is that when we get hit with the solar flare, and they tried to get everybody to Mars because we settled Mars real fast, and they try to come back and populate Earth, but it's like so messed up, like they couldn't. But it starts some type of war. I wish y'all can like, look it up, but if you can really look into that. But it just made me think of some theories, because I was talking to my coworker the other day, and well, my old coworker, and he owns a big farm. And he was telling me that the government has been like soliciting all the farmers to buy their cattle, like at great prices. And then they are auctioning the cattle off to like these corporations.
Oh.
Mhm.
That's weird. And then his son works in this like timber yard or something, like a popular timber yard in Minnesota.
Mhm.
And he said, now y'all know it's like a wood shortage, or they making the wood very expensive, which is driving the
Yeah.
prices up for homes.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
And he said they were trying to make it seem like, oh, we don't have enough wood. It's a shortage or a supply, like a supply issue. But he said his son was calling like we all of our stock is like we're maxed out. Like we have nothing but wood here going nowhere. We have to like store it outside. We have so much. But somebody he said told them down the line like to stop selling it.
Wow.
And I didn't understand that. And he was like, it's so weird. Like we got all this stuff. Now you're about to lay us off because we need to stop or slow down production. Like, let's sell it. It's a shortage. Stuff is high. So why wouldn't you sell it? So that was weird that my coworker said that.
Yeah,
And
they
I
have
think
to stop selling it or to make it appear as if, we're running out of this or don't have that in order to keep the masses in panic and in fear.
that's crazy.
Mm.
I think I saw something like that on TikTok too, where it was a freight driver, the truck drivers, and they were saying like how they're saying stuff isn't getting shipped, but it's because they also are getting orders from somebody to not ship stuff. Like, no, like we have it, it's sitting here in the dock, but they won't release it for whatever reason to deliver it. And they're all kind of like confused, like, why can't we deliver this stuff? What's going on?
Well, they got to make that everything look like that, because they trying to make everybody panic, and then to get that shot, everybody get that COVID shot with the nanobots in it, you
Yeah, I
know.
saw some boy just died. A little boy. Ooh, you scared me. A little boy just died from getting a shot, and they said it was like the pilots. 3 pilots died consecutively, like or 4 pilots died after they got the shot. So now it's causing a shortage on the flights because they forcing people to get the stuff, and now they're getting sick and they're dying, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, halt. So that's interesting. Like would it flip where it's like, okay, now we can only like fly non-vaccinated people since the vaccine could possibly kill somebody else, or it'd be interesting.
Hmm.
That's just a wild theory. I doubt it, but it's interesting how it's killing everybody off. And I saw how the studies was flat out showing that it was attacking like the hearts of teenagers. So
Oh
why
wow.
wouldn't you stop production on that if you have evidence in a study that is stopping kids' hearts?
Exactly.
Wow.
Now, you said you were doing some research on it and it was
Hmm.
stopping kids. You said you were doing research on it and it was stopping kids' heart. What about just adults or everyday people who are getting the vaccine?
I'm trying to think of what I was discovering in this study. I'm trying to think of the 3 guys, they popular guys who did the study. I think one of the guys' last name might have been Stevens. But what I was explaining to um, um, before about this was that in the study, now I was just taking this from my own personal knowledge base from college. And I had a biology class, and I was reading on the study, and in the study they said, in the study itself, it said that the vaccine seems to attack like the gametes. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm no biologist. I just took biology in college because they forced me to, but my field is definitely not biology. But so I want to say they're called either gametes or gametes, and those are like sex genes that's what would like determine the sex in the fetus. So
Okay.
I guess the nanoparticle is floating, like it's going to these sex genes and is editing them. So they claim that the vaccine is not going to deliver it to the nucleus of the cell,
Mhm.
but it is like quite evident it is breaking into the nucleus of that cell and changing something or editing that particular cell. So
Mm-hmm.
my question was, like, why is it seeming to go straight to the Ganites? Now it said with that in the Ganites that I guess is not supposed to, it wasn't going to the Ganites in the sperm, which was weird, but it was like going straight to like the women's Ganites, like in the ovaries. But it
Mm.
might have had something to do because maybe sperm like recycles every 90 days or something like that. So maybe it just doesn't have time, or maybe it's maybe designed where it don't attack that particular cell, since it does know that it regenerates every 90 days. So it wouldn't have enough time to deliver it where it needs to go. I don't know. But in my bio class, I remember my teacher telling me, like, if you want to do vaccines, you don't need to use Ganites, because that's like what people use in like fertility situations where you want to edit the genes of your kids. So you might want your kid to have a certain feature or trait or something like that. That's when you start, using delivery systems like a virus to, send the cells in to redesign it the way you want. Now, of course, whenever you want to gene edit, to get past the body systems, you need something maybe a little bit more aggressive. So you would deliver that in the form of a virus when you do gene editing. But again, how my teacher explained was that you don't need to do that. When you're just doing vaccines, you don't need to involve anything with Ganites at all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting to me that it's flat out in the study with well known doctors, professors. I have to find the article again, but it was like three guys doing the study as a group. I want to say one of the guys' last name was Stevens. I'm not sure. I just have to find it. But that right there lets you know that something is not how they are trying to express that they want to use this vaccine for. Now, it was also, I like right after I kind of saw that article, I think I went on TikTok and saw the somebody put up a video of Bill Gates having a conference with some higher ups in the military, and he was like showing documents on the projector where he had two brains, and he was showing the areas of the brain that light up based on like certain emotional responses. So he was like, okay, on this screen over here, this is a brain of somebody who's excited, and typically people who rebel or are more rebellious would have this part of the brain light up. But in this person here, they're not as aggressive because this part of the brain isn't as lit up as this part. But my thing is, why would Bill Gates be delivering a speech to the military about that? Like, you're a tech guy. You are not in bio health or
Exactly.
anything. So why are you studying the brain to see what areas get more excited based on rebellion?
But
So
Bill Gates, his father was into all of that stuff, genetics and everything.
really,
Yeah, his father was.
I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Well, it's interesting, it almost make me feel like if it is true, like they're delivering the vaccine to be able to attack the genes that would light up that part of the brain so you won't be as rebellious. So maybe they're planning to maybe take actions where they don't want people to speak up, or don't rebel against them so they can kind of do what they want to do. I don't know. But it's a very interesting theory to
Well,
say,
how do those nanobots work in the body?
well, how do they work? Well, far as what I think I know, I'm no professional on this, but how they explained it is, I guess this nanoparticle is like a protein, and I guess you need that to, like, I guess, break down the membrane of the cells you trying to, I guess, I'm saying attack because that's what a virus does. It kind of like attacks, but you need delivery of a virus. If you see how a virus work, you see it'll like attach to your cell and drill in real quick and then shoot in, and then it's
Right.
replicating real fast to,
Right.
replicate it. But of course, when you got a virus, those copies are now flawed because the virus can't copy it 100% because it's really not the original since it implanted its own self in it. So it's
Yeah,
always that
it's like
little
clones.
right. So it's always that little chance that something can glitch. But how I understand it, it's supposed to just these little nanoparticles supposed to go straight kind of for the cells that are responsible for fighting off infection and kind of supposed to give them a boost, a boost, I guess, to fight back. Like it's like they're messengers. So it's like messenger RNA. So that's what you would use to, and that's interesting too because that's part of your actual DNA. So why would you need to drill into the DNA strand itself? How they explained it, I guess, and I'm not explaining it right. I'm sorry, but I guess it drill in, it take the parts of the DNA like the strand, and it kind of like rip out the part that they feel would be weak in that strand and drill in the nanoparticle there to like make it stronger to fight off the virus. And it also kind of delivers a piece of the virus to like code it so it knows to say, okay, if you see this, attack this, but it still doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why your own immune system with that. Why do you need to tap into the mRNA? There's no reason for that. Like
And
it's
I
almost like
remember doing, yeah, and I remember doing a little, looking into it a little bit with that mRNA, that messenger message RNA, where they can send signals and messages to that RNA to go into the DNA to. It's kind of like the Manchurian candidate to make you do things or make something stop working in you or anything, because
and that makes
they send
sense.
signals to it, and that's why they're increasing the you have the G5, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all going up.
I mean, it makes sense because yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
thought it was
Go
me.
ahead.
Sorry. I mean, it makes sense if you think about our bodies, everything about us is electromagnetic. We live on an
Right.
electromagnetic planet, so
Yeah.
I'm sure if you send some type of signal or radio wave that can connect to something foreign in your body, I mean, this is tech, nanoparticles, like a synthetic protein. So I'm
Mhm.
sure some particle in there could possibly, respond to a signal sent that would, maybe perform an action that we may not be aware of. So I think it's highly feasible that that could be true. They can. I'm sure they probably have a satellite up there somewhere where it's sending signals. I think I heard something like that where they were saying they have this device like up in space on the satellite where it can target people and like cause you to have a heart attack or stroke with no evidence. Like
Mm.
it's
Right.
really targeted, and they actually was saying they was using that to start the forest fires too.
Right. I heard that. Yeah, 'cause the forest fires, all the trees that was on fire, they was burning from within.
What?
Yeah, they was burning on the inside before they started burning on the outside.
And that makes sense if you're gonna have a directed beam. That's probably how it would work. So that makes sense. But people was reporting seeing them little beams coming down out of nowhere. Like, what is this beam? And then boom, something weird will happen after they see it every time. So I'm I mean, I'm open minded, but I definitely feel like is not too far off. It's definitely feasible that type of stuff can happen. But as far as the this vaccine stuff, I mean, you know, I don't know. You know, I definitely feel like something suspicious is happening. You know, they are just pushing this a little bit too hard. You
Yeah,
know,
you
just
hear about they want to give a person $1 million to go get the vaccination.
yeah, I saw it was a raffle. Like, if you get the vaccine, we'll automatically enter you in the raffle for $1 million. Like, where you get $1 million in funding just to okay, you
Or a
know,
brand new car or a house. It's just ridiculous where they coming from. Something sounds suspicious.
I had a guy today. You know, they were walking down the street, you know, putting the flags on people's door, like make sure you get the vaccine, or you know, now these jobs are saying, you know, like the hospital, Henry Ford is
Mm.
our main one in Detroit, and they are definitely saying, you know, you have till what, September to get the vaccine, or you can't work there. And even your contractors, if you contract with us and come in this building, you have to have to be vaccinated if you're employed with us.
Oh, you're gonna have to do that also when you go to the grocery store.
I hope not. You know, I definitely feel like if it's gonna get that deep, you know, people who don't want to get vaccinated, you know, you better start getting you some seeds and figuring out how to plant your own stuff, or you know, get you some chickens or whatever you need to do if you don't feel comfortable getting the vaccine. Because I'm sure they're gonna, if they're going that deep to you know, offer you $1 million and all this crazy stuff, you know, I'm sure eventually it's going to be like, hey, businesses, you know, if you make sure your people are vaccinated, we'll give you this awesome perk. If you can say everybody is vaccinated on your staff and everybody who comes in is vaccinated, we'll give you this perk for doing that, you know. And that's,
Right.
and they know everybody's going to be hurting for the perk because the economy was shut down. So it's like, yeah, we need that help. So yeah, everybody get vaccinated. If you come in here, you need to be vaccinated because I need that perk to get
Right.
back on my feet. So I'm sure it's gonna definitely get to a point where you're gonna,
What did the governor of Michigan, Detroit, say?
the mayor or the governor.
The governor, as,
Um, what you mean? What did she say? Far as
as
what?
far as people getting the vaccine shot, uh,
Um,
it was a statement she made that everybody better get it, and I couldn't remember exactly what it was, but it was like uh, the people, eventually gonna have to is gonna get forced to get it.
I think so. I think you're gonna get it one way or another. Even if I'm sure they're gonna probably keep, you know, making vaccines that would evolve. You know, you never know. They might be spraying stuff in the air, or you know, you don't know. But I definitely feel like the way they pushing so hard for this, it kind of freaks me out. It's kind of creepy. It makes me uncomfortable. Like, why is it this? I mean, they was saying the flu was killing all those people for years, you know, and the COVID numbers, I mean, yeah, they're a little higher, but like the flu was killing people. So why didn't you
Hmm.
put this much effort in the flu or cancer, you know, versus COVID? And I'm sure this stuff is mutating, you know, so they're gonna, like, these vaccines are only gonna be good for so long. So this isn't gonna be no one time. This is gonna be
They
every
saying
year.
people, they were saying like, people not, you know, catching the flu like they used to back then. Now it's the virus. Everybody catching the virus and not the
I
flu.
think people are
So
catching the
you
flu, but
gotta,
they labeling it corona for because they need certain stats to justify certain actions. So I definitely feel like a
Mhm.
lot of stuff, I've seen a lot of stuff where doctors are kind of like fighting back, like this is not COVID related, but they were getting kickbacks for, I guess, signing, they were saying death certificates that said COVID, and your hospital would get some type of kickback if you did that. So they were just like writing COVID on everything just so they can get the kickback from the government.
Oh yes, I think 'cause the body is worth what, 80 grand, $80,000 for each COVID first patient.
uh I don't know. I haven't heard that, but if
And
that's
40 to
so,
$80,000 every time they said they had COVID.
wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money, especially for a private practice, of course. But yeah, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
well, they got so many parts of the body that they can sell for this or that and the other. They can sell your heart, your eyeballs, your this, your that, all your parts. So a whole body is worth a whole lot of money.
Look, I hope not. I wish none of this stuff was like conspiracy worthy, but it's just stuff is just not adding up. I mean, if I gotta, take a vaccine because I'm not vaccinated. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get vaccinated unless I have no other choice. If it's to keep my job or something like that, then yeah, I got to do what I got to do. I got to feed my family, but voluntarily, no, I don't feel comfortable getting the vaccine, and that's mainly because it's in the test phase. Like it takes years to perfect a vaccine. You guys just rushed and like came out with something in a matter of a few months. So we're basically the test dummies for this vaccine, and I'm not comfortable with that. Like testing on everybody else first before you force me to get it. So I'm definitely one person who's gonna hold out as long as I can to get it. But again, depending on where you work, like if you listen to a lot of the companies talk, is definitely they want people vaccinated so everybody else feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's people are fighting back, and it's interesting. Like even at my job, it's an interesting dynamic because you have like one part is like, "What's wrong with you? Why aren't you getting vaccinated?" And the other part is like, "No, I don't want to be anybody's test dummy." And it is a particular group. You can tell it's mainly Black people who remembers the Tuskegee experiments and other stuff, like no, you go first. We don't know about this, and that's how they tried to deliver it back in the day. Like, hey, we have this new vaccine, and people are dying from it. So I can see why, mainly the Black communities don't really want to participate in it. I mean, but eventually, I do feel, the more deaths you have, the more justification they have to say we have to force this on you. But I guess the real question is why? Like, why do you need to control people that to that degree? Like that's like a psychopath. Like our government is a psychopath if that's the case, if they are behind it, I don't know. But why do you need that much control over the people? Why wouldn't you want people to rebel if something crazy is going off? Like, you always need that group of people who are gonna rebel, or if something isn't going right. It's just interesting to me, a very interesting situation we're in. And
Yeah, well, I know they've been talking about they trying to start the new world order. They trying to bring that about, yeah, as soon as possible.
so what is the new world order? Like, how do people define that?
Well, I'm not quite sure, but
Is it like they want one central government and no country have? So would it be like something like our country would have a representative of one big government, or
well, somebody's gonna be the ruler over everybody. It's supposed to be one religion, one one belief, one uh, somebody that controls you. It's another type thing for one world society. Everybody got to do the same thing. Everybody can't. People can't go this way and go that way. That's got to be cut out. You have to be controlled to do one thing and be a follower, be under control.
hmm. So do you think AI or artificial intelligence? Oh, and in that video, with the guy Q Reeves. He was talking about, or that video he showed where the guy was asking Alexa. I guess the guy asked like, "Are there robots living among us?" And she was like, "Yeah, Elon Musk made a bunch of robots that been living. He secretly made them, and we do have like a bunch of robots out here that look very human, and people don't know." And it's always been a rumor in every text, every future prophetic whatever, is always this talk of like robots taking over. And I really don't think it's going to be like one religion. I think religion is going to be wiped out, honestly. I think people are starting to see the holes in religion, and they see that the church really isn't what they think it is. And I think people are just going to pull away from that altogether. Now, what would people commonly believe in? I don't know. But I definitely don't think it's going to be like a one like religion. I don't think so. And especially if AI get involved and becomes like, sentient, I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure it may be like no, but I definitely, in my opinion, think robots, we moving real fast. And, now that we getting into quantum computing, that is the very basis for consciousness itself. So if you're putting that in robots, those things will most definitely, I feel, become conscious or sentient. And I hope nothing bad comes from that. And I just hope humanity, if that is like something that could happen, realize that that thing actually is sentient and conscious, and and not do bad things towards them if that's the case. Because it's, if you think about it, even the human body is just like a very enhanced biosuit. It's a very advanced robot if you really look at how our bodies work. So, is it right to treat us, mistreat us because of, whatever reason, how we came forth? No. So I hope humanity take heed to all those movies like the Terminator and stuff and
Mm-hmm.
not do bad things to the robots if they do become sentient or conscious. I don't know. But some weird stuff I think is definitely coming up, and I feel like in the next 30 years, it's going to look like a totally different landscape from right now. Because, like, if you think about it, like in the 80s versus now, in that little 30-year span, like, it's nothing like that. Like, people are not carrying money. We're talking on a little device. You can see me, and we're in a very, a different location miles away. It's definitely a different landscape. So, as
Right.
fast as we've been moving, I'm sure robots would definitely play a heavy role in our daily lives. So, I don't know, but and I read something. I don't know what I was reading where something was saying that robots is source and sources robot. Like what? Where did I get that from? But it was interesting concept though. How they were kind of
Mm-hmm.
saying AI, like our source is AI and AI is source.
Mm.
But I didn't read too much into it. But I was, but it was an interesting concept that caught my attention. I'm like, I'm gonna deep dive that one day to really see what that can mean.
Okay.
But there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and that whole alien thing. I'm just curious of like why they want to put so much attention on this now. It's like, are you trying to put something in our face to distract us while you do something else, or is it that something inevitable is coming, so you're just kind of trying to prep the people so they can follow a certain narrative if that do happen, if they can't control the inevitable. It's just interesting. to say the least. I personally feel like aliens been here forever and a day. So why now would you choose to say, now I want to reveal myself to everybody if you've been here for forever and a day? So it's
Mhm.
like, are you part of the agenda or what? Or is something else coming here because y'all here and we need to prep for that? Or it's just an interesting concept. I'm curious of why they putting so much energy to the point where the guy on TMZ did a whole sector, the whole interview outside of TMZ to talk about aliens.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, this is getting a little bit too much attention. So I don't know about that, but it's interesting how even the public is responding. Like, you have, like, people just seem to just know. So they're not even like surprised or impressed. It's just like, oh yeah, aliens. But I don't think people would take it serious unless they just really saw something like, OMG, what is that? But
Well, a lot of people have been, suppressed of, you know, about that alien topic. And, if they say anything about it, seem like they have somebody visit them and tell them to keep their mouth shut, you know.
well, it's just, I think people don't want to talk about it because it's taboo. Like, you talk about aliens, people automatically think you crazy. So
Right.
people try not to put energy into that. Like, I'm not getting into the crazy group, so I don't even want to
Yeah.
acknowledge it. But at what point do you acknowledge it? And that point would be for like an alien to show up on your block, and it's broadcasted across TV.
Yeah.
For, I think, people to finally kick in, like, oh, we are not alone. But it's also interesting to me, like, how could you think it's just humans on this little planet in this vast space and universe? Like, a whole universe was created just for us on this one little ball. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Like, Yasha said, I can't, something about, she said, I can't see how people didn't see all these incentives as red flags. I know. As far as the vaccine, yeah. She said,
Mhm.
I'd be totally under duress if I have to get it. People are under duress, people are not happy about it. So I'm not happy about it. I don't want to put something inside of my body that's in the test phase. No.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know, but she said, like, one rule, law, government, religion, one type currency. Yeah, that digital currency, you definitely see. Now that's interesting too, because everybody is dropping the US dollar. And oil, we the head of oil. And China just created their own digital currency and made a
Mhm.
deal with the oil people. So they saying, hey, we'll pay way more than what the US paying. So if you exchange the rate in our money instead of the US money, and they signed it. So that dropped our stuff. Somebody else overseas just dropped our dollar to US dollar. It's the stuff so obvious in your face. And then you see that so the Bitcoin was high. It was like these record breaking highs, 70,000, for a coin. And soon as the government said, hey, we want to invest in it, magically it drops to like $29,000. Like, at this great rate for the government to come in, buy it, and then like drive it back up so they can make the profit off of it. So it's like, it's to me, it felt like they know the dollar is about to go away and it won't have the power that it used to have. So they need to invest in something else to re-up that money, in my
Mhm.
opinion. But everything is going haywire. I'm not understanding what's going on with this money situation, but it's definitely something is going on, and I do feel people should try to, invest, um, their money in some type of digital currency. I don't know who's going to come out on top, but it definitely seems like Bitcoin is the main one. Dogecoin, I don't think is gonna be as popular as Bitcoin, but It may be, but or it may be that China currency that they just made over there. And, China is the powerhouse right now. They in control of
I
all our.
think, yeah, I think that these coins right now are just testing the waters.
Mm,
Getting everyone, trying to get everybody on board and used to the idea. And I think they're testing the waters before they come out with the the coin that's going to be the main currency.
makes
That's what I'm
sense.
thinking.
Make a lot of sense.
And you're probably gonna have to have the shots and everything to get your currency from that. Everything gonna have to
Mm,
be connected.
you never know. You never know. But I don't like how that water went on the stock exchange, and then the two lakes dry up out of nowhere. Like, how do whole lakes? That's still baffling me, and people not talking about it like it's just okay. Like a
Mm.
whole lake, like a big old Salt Lake City, the lake over there that people had their boats in, like a ginormous lake, like the Great Lakes, gone. Imagine the Great Lakes gone.
I remember they were
Like the
showing. It's
Great Lakes
crazy.
is gone.
They were showing it. I
Um,
remember they were showing on one of the YouTube channels that Nestle or Nestle was selling. They were selling the water to China, and they had at one at the Great Lakes, and they had an actual pipeline going on those big barges on those on the in the water, filling it filling it up, filling those barges up, and shipping it over to China. So that's why those lakes are drying up.
that's
Mm.
crazy. But that's two big lakes. I was assuming at first when I heard it, like I hope Yellowstone not about to blow, because if that stuff moving under the ground, that water probably went under there. That's how I was thinking. But now that you're saying that, it make perfect sense, especially if you're going to exchange it on the stock market. We want our hands in that stock.
Because the United States owe China money, owe them currency, and
Mm.
China told the U.S., "Hey, we don't want those greenbacks. Is that fiat money? We don't want none of that. Now you either gonna pay us, and we want some the water because they need water, or we gonna blow start coming in over there." And they was giving them water, putting it in barges for years to
It
give to
makes
China.
sense. It
That,
makes sense.
that's
I
how
heard
they
it
say Lake
too.
Champlain is dried up.
Mm. It was a lake. What? Not a lake. What's that sea in the Middle East? That I think they said they knew it was slowly drying up, like they expected it, but not at the rate that like half of the lake is gone or something. They said like it should not be that way. I can't think of the sea. It's like some type of sea over in the Middle East that like is practically dried up, and that the people are like baffled. Like it should not have happened this fast. So I don't know like what is going on with all these waters. Like something ain't right. And then I was thinking about, they talking about how Bill Gates is banned up while he the number one owner of, like, he has the most farmland in the United States.
Uh-huh. Cause
He
he bought up all of the seeds. And that's when they switched over to all this organic and hybrid seeds and stuff. But they have all the seeds to um every vegetable, fruit. They have that locked up like Fort Knox.
Oh, the sea bought up in the Antarctic somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so were you talking about as far as the sea? Were you talking about in the Middle East, the Red Sea or Caspian Sea?
The one that dried up.
Yeah.
I
Was
know
that the
it had the
Caspian
word
Sea
sea in it.
or Red Sea?
It might be the red. No, the Red Sea already dried up, ain't it?
You thinking about
It's,
Caspian Sea?
I don't remember. I'm sorry, but I
Okay.
know it's in the Middle East, though. I do know that much. I just don't know which one.
Oh, okay.
It sounded like it might have been the Red Sea, though. Might have been the Red Sea, but I know they knew it was drying up. The people always knew it, like, yeah, the lake, but or the sea, over time, going to dry up. but it like rapidly happened, and that's what put people in like shock. Like, wait, this not supposed to happen for like another 100, 200 years. Why is it halfway gone now? Like overnight, it was so freaky and weird.
And what do
Um,
you think about what is her name? Governor Whitmer talking about everyone is going to get the vaccine. They're either going to get it, by complying, going to take it, or catching the virus. I mean, what a bold statement to make, or to say that everyone will be vaccinated one way or another, pretty much, in so many words.
I didn't hear that, but oh, that's what BK Live was talking about then.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it. I don't know, but like you said, that's a bold statement to make. So it must be on her agenda if she
Oh,
made the
yeah.
statement. You
Oh, it
know,
is a part of the agenda. I'm just curious to how they're going to go about doing it. I do know that she just gave $60 million to a private firm to go out. She told them to go out and to get everybody vaccinated. Start going door to door to see who is not vaccinated. So they can have a record and to see why not, and to get them vaccinated. She pretty much paid them $60 million to get the job done.
that's
So
deep.
I mean, so I'm like, well, what do that mean?
Right. If I say no, that should be. It's weird because I remember Biden saying, we're not gonna force you to do it. But if they put it in the state's hands, he probably saying we not gonna do it, but if the
Exactly.
state do it, and that's on
Uh-huh.
y'all. So I mean, it definitely sounds like, and it makes sense if you want control of the people and you put all this money into this vaccine and you trying to do stuff, you are gonna take extreme measures to make sure everybody is under your control. So I wouldn't put it past that that's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like I feel like everybody gonna end up having to get that vaccine. And it reminded me of the movies back then where you have this little set group. It was actually one on Black Mirror.
Oh,
It was
yes.
an episode where they had the soldiers looking for these monster mutated people.
Yeah, yeah.
And when the guy either didn't take his pill, or I forgot how he ended up seeing the people was people and they wasn't mutants. Like,
Yeah, they
well,
had
we
on
killing
those
people.
masks. I mean, I'm sorry, those
Yeah.
helmets that was tapping into their brain, or their neural system in the brain. And when they look into it, they look like monsters.
Yeah.
But as soon as they were able to get it off or something, they saw that it was the regular people. Some of them were their friends. It was people they knew.
Right.
Yeah, and they
So
were fighting each other.
it's like, so I think something like that will happen in the future where you have like these rogue people who like, by any means I'm not getting it. So if I gotta go off grid or whatever, I just go off grid. And then I feel like everybody else gonna kind of like look down on them, like you don't care about society, you only care about yourself and this is that. And it's like, no, I just don't want to be tested on and be controlled by, the government. Like,
Right. Right.
so, it like your TV shows, it's predictive programming. They all kind of show you what's going to happen,
Right.
so I do feel like it's coming. We're going to have a rogue group of people who say nay, and then the other one's going to say yay, and it's going to create a class issue. And
Well, black folks don't never believe in nothing until it happened. That's just like we had a black president. They kept saying it'll never be in our lifetime. But boom, what happened? We
now
got
these
to
black
be.
folks is taking this serious. The black folks is the ones who not getting vaccinated. They paying attention, like, oh no,
Yeah,
no.
in the beginning of it, I was, only in the beginning. They didn't believe it was going to be no black president
Oh, well,
until
I'm saying
it
about the
happened.
vaccine. Right
Um,
now, that's the put. Like in my neighborhood, I guess I had like the highest percentage of unvaccinated people, so that's why they putting so much money into my neighborhood to get people vaccinated.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
But everybody on the same page. Like, yeah, no.
Exactly. It's like that in my neighborhood too. I know I went to the store and the owner, one of the customers came in and he said, do you have your mask? He was like, man, I ain't wearing no mask and I'm not getting vaccinated. And the owner and all the cashiers were like, I know that's right. Everybody's saying the same thing.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
and they were not just black. There were other races as
Oh,
well. Like
okay.
they up on it too. Like, I'm not getting that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's definitely gonna make a huge rift in class. Like, it's really, I feel like, because it's more so the black community that's not wanting to participate, it like give the upper class the advantage to create more space between the two classes because of it. So it'll be interesting to see how this affect the black community, as far as receiving resources, because they are not getting this vaccine. So that's what I'm saying. If these neighborhoods, if you have them spare lots and stuff, make a community garden. you know um Collect your rainwater. um
Even if you can buy land next to, in your neighborhood, just the land, community garden is good for it. And exactly, rainwater, collect that.
But you ain't supposed to be able to collect no rainwater.
well, I think they changed it because they was actually giving people barrels to collect it
Yeah, because
in
I
Detroit.
yeah, I remember that.
So
Wow.
I don't know,
Okay.
but it's something
Okay.
that's fishy going on because they are. What was I about to say? It was something about this control. So you see how all these hedge funds are buying up all the property, and they
Yeah.
actually
Yes.
said that we don't want you don't need the worry of owning anything. We'll take care of it. You just rent it and we'll take care of everything.
Right.
And something ain't right about that. So it's like, if I rent from you, you can put all these stipulations on me and say I can't grow a garden, I can't collect rainwater, or because I don't own it.
But a lot of these corporations that's buying up the property and buying up houses and land, a lot of them are not even from this country.
True.
A lot of I
True.
I see a lot of them. They're from
China.
China.
Hmm.
Most of them that I ran into uh, are from China.
I believe that. Yeah, I had a lot of real estate friends telling me it was people from China buying up the neighborhoods,
Yeah,
and
they are.
they were reselling it. Actually, they said
Hmm.
to U.S. Firms.
Yes.
But again, it is interesting. Like, why you don't want me to have ownership of anything?
Well, they own California, don't they?
I don't know. I don't know.
They said they bought all that up.
I believe it though. But I don't see why you would want to invest in California. I kind of feel like California, it's on that fault line. I don't think they got long before
Exactly.
California started breaking off.
Part of some of it is in the water already.
I don't
Hmm.
know why you would want to do that, but I'm sure, but if California start breaking off though, one of that Yellowstone gonna blow. And if Yellowstone blow, we all hit in the US, our crops or whatever. So you might
Hmm.
want to try to start planting your stuff in the house, in your basement. Create a little
Exactly.
irrigation system, because if they having chemicals and stuff outside or spraying it, or if it's ash or whatever, you can't, your food no good no more. Your soil not good. So you might want to
Exactly.
start a system in your basement. Like how people grow their weed and stuff with the lights and the filtration. Do that for some cabbage, greens, onions, and all that other stuff. Potatoes.
Right.
I don't
You
know.
could do that. You could do that in the house. You could do fish farming in the house.
Oh,
If you buy property, you could like take one of the properties for just fish farming, another property for food.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that
good
fish
idea.
farming sound pretty interesting because we're talking about giving people clone meat that's not real. So, I mean, if it's controlled by someone else, that would be a good idea to do if you farm your own stuff.
And have
Yeah.
you noticed this food ain't been? Like since the pandemic, because I'm just lazy. I don't like sitting in the line. So usually I used to eat fast food all the time, but I've been proud of myself for cooking since the COVID popped off. But I
Yeah,
just went back to like I don't know what I grabbed. Was it McDonald's? And it just tasted so weird. Like
Don't
it,
taste the same. Yeah, it's
yeah,
funny.
something ain't right.
All this food
right.
is synthetic. There's a lot of synthetic food out here. Um, and it's also the change in your DNA as well. Eating out and eat, at all these different places. A lot of this food that's genetically modified is messing with your DNA also, or our DNA also. Eating it,
So
it's
how can the
changing it.
food mess with your DNA? Like how can that do that? Like can it? I don't
Well,
understand.
when you think in terms of how, the food, nourish you, the food have all these vitamins and these minerals, have different minerals and
They
things
take
in it.
all that out.
They change
Oh,
all of that, which all would affect your body and break your body down. When it start breaking other parts of your body down, or
so
your
you think it
organs.
like put it in starvation mode, and your body's try to adapt to that all the
Exactly.
time?
Your body is going through an adaptation period.
I guess you're right because I was reading about them people in the I don't know if it's the Philippines or Polynesia somewhere where the people over there live on the water
Uh-huh.
for generations. So now they have like a bigger appendix and something else to help them breathe under the water or hold their breath longer under the water so they can get fish.
Right.
It's like anybody who born from them people have like a enlarged appendix and some other body part. But then people can like dive underwater deep depths for like 4 or 5 minutes at a time or no, it wasn't that low. It might have been like 10 minutes at a time. They can hold their breath for 10 minutes, like longer than the Marine, training. They just naturally can just go down there and hold their breath just because they, over generations, because they live on top of the water, they all their activities is in the water. So their body's adapted to that. So I guess I can see how that makes sense. How if your body is in constant, if they taking the nutrients out your food, your body going to starvation mode. So now it's trying to adapt to just, having with it whatever it can get.
I
So that
mean,
makes a lot of sense.
then that's just like, simple things. You have people who that eat on ice or chew on ice, and that mess with your blood, mess with the blood in your body.
Yeah, I'm an ice
Just
chewer. I was always told it mean you have low iron.
well, that's a sign that the iron is low, but it messes with your blood,
Oh,
the hemoglobin. You have your ferritin, the iron, and the binding, but it also drops. It won't let your body produce red blood cells. Eating
um,
ice, it slows the blood cells from reproducing.
that sucks. I blow through a bag of ice. I love ice. I go drive all the way across town to get my specific ice, my little square ice, because I
Hmm.
can chew it. I would drive 20 miles for my ice. Okay.
But I used to do that. I was really hooked on ice
Me
until
too.
I ended up in the hospital
Oh, okay.
twice. And I
Well,
had
I'm
to,
the
when
end of
I
the
ended
chip.
up in the hospital twice, I had to do a little more research into it to see, what exactly was going on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know,
That's
but
deep
oh
though.
yeah.
I didn't know it do all that. I'm gonna have to reevaluate because
And if you have to go in the hospital nowadays, they gotta jam that thing, Q-tip up your nose if you're going in there. And
and
Why
I
they jam it up so hard?
well, they don't jam it up hard. I'm just well, for some people, I don't know, but they do have to put it in your nose, and it does go up kind of fast, like a brain. It's well, the doctor called it a brain tickler. It touched the tip or the bottom of the brain, or
When they
that's what he
go
told me.
through the nose, pushing it
Yeah,
up through the nostril, they touch the tip of the brain.
that's what he told me.
so why they don't test for the flu like that and COVID is a strand of it's like a form of the flu, right?
Exactly.
So why
Yeah.
you need to test like that?
Because I asked him, I said, "Well, why you can't just draw my blood to test my, To see if I have
Right.
it. Why do you got to stick that in my nose? Well, this is they told me. Well, this is more accurate. How is that more accurate than drawing blood? Sticking that up in my
I
nose.
guess it's more instant result if we can see it because maybe but why would it concentrate in your brain though?
Exactly.
I
And they
saw a
have two different
video.
ones. They have two different Q-tips that they can put in your nose. One, they don't put it all the way in there. That don't really can't really tell, or it can tell a little bit. But they have the one that go all the way up in your nose.
Look, I saw a video of this nurse at the clinic. She was putting the swabs under the microscope, and you could see stuff moving in it.
Yeah,
Moving in the swabs.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
what? Wow.
So she was thinking
Like,
like maybe because you need they had specific shipment for those for COVID testing. I use these for
right.
COVID. So she thinking maybe they putting something in it to
In
if it's touching your brain, maybe they putting it in you
in
to.
there, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like they probably are actually inserting something in there. You know.
Oh, and I read something in that study of them guys how they was saying like they recorded like if you buy somebody vaccinated, it's like it'll transfer the vaccine to the other person. Like they were seeing those effects. Like if you are around a vaccinated person after so much amount of time,
Mhm.
it'll transfer some kind of way. I don't know how. I can't remember what it was saying, and I think I stopped then because it was a long study. But um,
It made that sound like it made me think of the movies, like the horror show, and how he jump into one body and jump in the next body.
mhm. It's a show. It's a show on HBO Max right now
Mhm.
called. Dang, I had put it on my Facebook page, but it was about this parasite in the water. It's supposed to be based on a true story too. So I guess this parasite like was eating people from inside out. Like it started with the fish, and they had to like close the town off because this parasite was in the water. It was eating the fish. Of course, people eating the fish, so now the virus is or a parasite getting in you, so it started eating the people inside out. It was like a crazy thing on HBO Max. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying. I think I put it on my page, but I can't think of the name of this movie. It was called was it HBO Max or was it Netflix? And it's another one on there too that was about it's an old movie from like the 70s maybe where people was something green where they was eating the food was I guess the food supply was short because of some virus outbreak and they only had to supply this food, but they didn't know the origin of the food. But the food ended up being like dead people that they was recycling to feed the living people. It was so
um,
crazy, but this is an old movie.
so is the soil and green?
Sterling Green, yeah, it was that. And what's the other one about the parasite? And again, I think that was based on a true story. I'm trying to find it to see if I know I pasted it on my Facebook page. I took it down, but hold on.
Okay, I see Sonia Jones said, and you can refuse the COVID testing at the hospital for now. I'm sure this may change in the future. I know when I went, in order if you had to get a procedure done or to get admitted, um, you had to get the test. But if you
I
were
think
just going to,
September they said they after that after September you can't
you can't what?
refuse it. They don't
Well,
care
they're
about
doing that.
religion or nothing.
They're doing that now.
Oh,
As far as the test, you talking about the shot?
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the shot. Yeah, the vaccine. Sorry.
Yeah,
So they want to put the vaccine in you, the virus in you, and you can't refuse it.
well,
Basically.
I don't know. I mean, hey,
And that movie called The Bay. The Bay on HBO Max. The
the
Bay.
Bay.
Mm.
Let me.
B as in Bravo, AY, the Bay. And that's what the parasite, like this parasite is like in it. It's supposed to be, I guess, not exactly, but they say it was like kind of based on a true story where this town got infected by this parasite in the lake. And I don't know, it looked like a horror show. It was terrible to watch, but but those two kind of remind me of what's happening now, like I'm
And what's
curious.
the name of the other? What's the name of the other movie?
Soy,
Soylent Green.
Soil, Soil, and Green.
Soylent.
Soy.
Silent Green or something like that.
I think it's Soylent. So Sierra, Oscar, Yankee, Lima, Echo, Nancy, Tango. Soylent, Green.
And what is that on?
I want to say that might be on that might be HBO Max or Netflix. Dang, I don't know. I was watching it
BK
last.
Live. Did have you watched that before, or
Not the one that she's talking about. I watched Soylent Green, but I didn't watch the other one.
How did you watch Soylent Green? Was it on Netflix or HBO Max?
I don't remember what show, but I've seen. I used to see it when they used to come on TV.
Oh wow.
okay?
Yeah, it's an
I think
old. That's an old movie.
it is. It's
Oh,
real old, like 70s or something like that.
Yeah,
Of course, now my TV not working just because I want to look it up. But
and
I want to say it's on both of them on HBO Max, if I'm not mistaken.
okay. Let me see. I'm pulling it up. Okay, Soylent Green. I see it.
what is it on?
It was on Sci-Fi,
Okay.
Oh,
and it may could be pulled up on Sci-Fi, HBO Max. Try it all. What is it? Prime Video. I will try all of them.
And it's another interesting show I want to watch. I saw it advertised on something. It was called The Garm Wars, The Last Druid. The Garm, like GARM Wars, The Last Druid. And I think you can watch it on YouTube for free. But how do I find
Oh, I
movies
see
that
it.
I
Let me
watch?
put
Maybe
Garm
it is HBO
Wars.
Max. Oops. Um,
And maybe what we can all get together and pick a particular movie to watch, and then come on and break. Get everybody break break down their thoughts about the movie.
it should be a G in front of that H. Or
Oh, I
well, no,
put
a G instead of
yeah,
a H.
yeah.
G
I put
A R. Um, I just
or
want
if
to
you
give a shout out to my sister for her HBO Max. You the real MVP. Thanks. Um, but the Guam Wars, I don't know what. How did I even run across it? I think I was running across it last night for something. I was looking at something else and it popped up in my feed. I think it says something about in a world where soldiers from three military tribes are locked in a perpetual battle of air, land, and technology. Is this the one I was looking at?
yeah, that's what that I'm seeing.
But it was interesting to.
So I'm gonna try to put the clip on if I can. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. One moment. Let me try.
Okay.
Might not let me. Let's see.
Uh, hey Josh, oh, let me mute it so you're doing that. I'm sorry. How do I mute myself? Oh, right there.
What was is never shall be. I form the light and create darkness.
I don't know what I think I was thinking about that from the conversation we had last time with Brother Goodness is what made me want to watch that show.
So maybe
So I'm
we all can
like,
maybe watch it and then come on and discuss it, talk about it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, but
have a discussion, a round table.
unless you look for continue watching, then I guess, but I don't know. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's a good idea to do that. I like doing stuff like that. That'd be nice.
Okay.
I got a bunch of movies I would like to discuss and talk about.
Great. Okay. Well, we'll get
But
a
has
list.
anybody else came on here? Like nobody saying nothing. Nobody joined. Nobody want to talk about conspiracies.
I do see Sonia in the chat room. I see Mia in the chat room.
I mean, y'all should. Why don't y'all get a link and put your 2 cents in? I feel like I'm just talking to myself. I don't want to be the center of the show. I want to hear what y'all talking about. What y'all think?
What they say in the chat room.
I can't see it
I
because
mean, great minds
I
think
had to
alike.
switch my screen. Let's see if I go on YouTube. I might can
And
see
on
what
the
they
chat
saying.
room, I'm putting in what they're saying on the screen.
I want to hear them. I want y'all to
Yeah,
say
come on.
something. Talk.
Yeah, come on
Why
online
y'all
and
not talking?
what they're saying on. I put the
Oh,
link.
people have been saying a lot of stuff. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, Yasha and Sonya Jones, can y'all come just say hi or something? Put y'all 2 cents in.
We're
Y'all
silent.
don't have to show
We're
your
silent.
face, just hear your voice.
I'm interested in really hearing a little bit more about the constellations and the zodiac. I'm very curious about that. I'm not learning in that
Oh,
area, but does anyone know a little bit more about the zodiacs? Because now I'm hearing they have 13 zodiacs, and have anyone heard anything about that?
yeah, I think that what the new one was Ophiuchus, right?
Yeah,
Ophiuchus, and that's the guy
Yes.
with the snake.
right.
So I know they was trying to add that to the zodiac.
Yeah, he was
Um,
wrestling with the snake.
yeah. But that'd be interesting if they did add that. That would mean that everybody ain't influenced by the zodiac sign that they think they influenced by. Everything would have to
Exactly.
change. And then I think I was telling y'all before how I was having that Mandela effect moment where I was they now saying that our solar system resides in the arm of Sagittarius.
Uh-huh.
No, the arm of Orion.
Yeah.
But before it was the arm of Sagittarius. And I think I was telling you guys before, I knew that because in college, again, in my astronomy class, on my final, I got that one wrong. And I thought it was in Virgo. And my teacher gave me this drawn out explanation of why it was the arm of Sagittarius and not Virgo. And I remember having a discussion with my sister, like, how did I get it wrong or something like that? So I know it happened, and I know the answer was the arm of Sagittarius. But now it's saying we now are residing in our constellation is residing in the arm of Orion, which is very far from the arm of Sagittarius. And I know for a fact I'm not crazy. Like I know we were in the arm. I wish I could find somebody else to verify what I'm saying. Like I wish I could find an astronomer who knew. Like we are in the arm of Sagittarius. So how in the world did we get in the arm of Orion? And when people Google this, you can Google it, and it will tell you we are now residing in the arm of Orion, and we
All
were
right.
not.
If we
Hey,
have
we didn't
any,
get sucked in no black hole, did we?
hey, who
I have no
knows?
valid explanation.
But I would love for anyone to come on who's aware or know anything about the constellations, astronomy, astrology. I would love for someone to come on to answer some of these questions that we have.
Look, I'm no expert in none of this stuff, but I can give you my 2 cents on what I think. If you tell me something, I can give you an idea, but I'm definitely not an expert on any of this stuff, vaccines and nothing. I'm just really just wanting to put my 2 cents in and see how y'all can compound on that and grow on it. Like, am I crazy? Is that feasible or not? I like to have those type of discussions. Not really saying this is it because I said it's it. More so, what's your thoughts on it? Do you think it's possible?
It's
I guess that make
it,
conspiracies fun. But far
and
as
it's good to have
the
a round
stars,
table.
I know a
Hmm.
little bit about it.
Okay.
Did
Well,
somebody say something?
break some of it down.
I mean, what part? What you want to talk about?
Well, with the stars, I mean, I'm curious about. I know from my understanding that, well, as far as the planets and the stars. Now, I heard that Pluto is not a actual planet, and I mean, I'm hearing so many different things, and the star is is not hot, but it's actually cold.
The star? You mean like the sun?
I'm sorry, the sun is really cold. It's burning cold. It's you know how you get freezer burn.
Hmm. No, I'm probably about to talk really wild. Not like scientific proven stuff, but I definitely think Pluto is like a planet in its own right. Like if you look on the Sumerian drawings and stuff, like they've been identified that as part of our system. But how you want to define what it is, I don't know. But I mean, it's definitely part of our system. So to say it's a planet, you know, I really don't know. I think it's a planet because well, I think it's a planet. I mean, unless you want to go on the actual makeup of Pluto, like what it's made up of. But if the Sumerians back then, included it into the system, it had to have some significant meaning somewhere, for them to record it. Um, far as the sun, I feel like the sun.
Now, are we revolving around the sun as the Earth and all these other planets revolving around the sun?
I believe so. I mean, I didn't seen various theories to explain why it's not like how everything. I saw the model where they said Earth, we shooting through the universe and everything like we going like this and everything going around us.
Uh-huh.
I've seen theories where the flat Earth theories where they said like we on this dome, like it's flat, and the people had some good theories on this stuff where it do make you go, maybe, I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm not a flat earther, but the arguments people present for it is
Are
very
you
good.
are you a hollow earther?
I think I can believe the hollow earth theory before flat earth theory,
Okay.
but the arguments have been really good lately to try to justify it. People have been breaking out the definitions in the encyclopedia and all type of stuff. But I definitely feel like it's something in the middle of the earth. Probably not as how they trying to explain it, like just this.
Well,
Um,
Admiral Byrd said that he flew inside of the earth.
yeah,
Admiral
I believe
Byrd.
that. I believe that. I don't think our core is hollow. I don't. I definitely feel just based on electromagnetism, you need some type of metal in order to for things to flow in the matter that it flows or keep the oceans down and all that stuff. So it got to be some core there. But so I don't think it's just like this straight through, like how they try to make it seem. But I do feel like at the poles, there probably are openings that you can go inside the earth for sure, but not probably all the way to the core. But if you look at all of the stories from the Hopis and all them Indian tribes, even the Eastern Indians and Middle Eastern Sumerians, everybody talk about when this catastrophe happened, beings all across the globe who were underground dwellers helped them survive whatever catastrophe that was going on the surface during that time. And that's globally, not just one place. Everybody, every culture has a story about some type of people that showed them the underground. So it gotta be something down there. I definitely think there is an opening up there for all of the. It's just strange how you have the United Nations, everybody agree to not mess with Antarctica. Now we don't agree on nothing. Ain't all them countries not agreeing on nothing all at once simultaneously. Never, not never. But when it came to Antarctica, they was like unanimous. Like, yeah, don't we cutting that off? Can't nobody go up there. So it's like,
Exactly.
why? What's up there? Why y'all instantly agreed to say don't go up there? So, something ain't right.
Only, right, only those top officials can go there.
Yeah, something they had. And then I feel like it do have something to do with the entrance to the inside because of what Admiral Byrd said. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
because they was
saying?
talking about it was giant suspended that in midair and underground. They had all kind of stuff, giants, and they
Yeah, I
They
saw them army
they
people.
had fruits.
Who?
They had fruits that was big, a great big as apples and oranges. Their food was humongous size.
I believe it. You know what I'm saying?
well,
I don't put that past. Look, it's feasible to me.
yeah,
It's definitely feasible to me. But I still
And it's green. They got green land
it's
over there.
feasible to me.
They only show you the part where it's all frozen.
Feasible to me. But I
looks
still
like we have
And
Peace
it's
Girl
green.
on here.
They got green land over there.
feasible to me.
They only show you the part where it's all frozen.
Well, you hear all that stuff melted down. Like they said, it's hot up there now. So I don't think it's frozen no more.
Okay, we're getting
You hear
feedback.
all
I
that
don't know if
stuff melted
I'm sorry,
down.
someone's
Like
maybe have YouTube up as well as the
yeah,
show
who is that?
because we're getting
I
feedback.
have my
Okay,
TV off.
we have Peace Girl on here.
Who is Peace Girl?
Peace Girl.
I don't know who that is. Well, hello, Peace Girl. So yeah, I definitely feel like the is something in there on both sides, the bottom and top, for sure. Um, something ain't right about that. And then you see on that movie on Netflix, Sweet Tooth, where that's where they was
Yes.
testing and brought the virus back
Yes.
from Antarctica, and then that's what mutated all the new babies. Come on
Oh,
now,
so that's
like
what happened. Because I
yeah,
stopped watching. I didn't watch it all.
yeah. The lady was testing, and then the boy was born spontaneously from the virus.
What was the name of that?
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth. Yeah.
Oh, I know, Peace Girl. Hello there. You look like me. uh, but yeah, on the movie Sweet Tooth, the lady was drilling in the ice in Antarctica, and they came across a virus. They start testing it, and I guess in incubation, you know how you incubate the viruses to keep them stored. It spontaneously birthed this baby that looked part deer, part human. and they try to keep it secret, but I guess more babies start being born. I forgot how the transmission of the virus happened. Some kind of way it was a virus transmission some kind of way, and all the new people, if any baby that was being born during that time came out mutated as half animal half human with connections to the animal kingdom. And so the last men was the last people that weren't mutants. So for them to survive I guess you had side effects. Like, I'm trying to remember what happened. It was like you get sick, the shakes or something, if you get exposed to the virus, if you was already living and not born into it. So they was trying to make a vaccine to stop the shakes so you don't die from the mutation of the virus or something. But in order for you to make the vaccine, you had to kill the kids alive. So you had to drill in their pineal gland or something and drill somewhere else while they was alive. You couldn't do it while they was dead. They had to be alive, and they would suck the juice out and making it to this vaccine so they don't get the shakes or whatever you want to call it. It was like a weird, interesting show. But it's just ironic. Like, okay, you got the COVID out here. And now they was up there drilling too in Antarctica, because that's when they found them worms and them mosquitoes that they was cloning or trying to bring. They brought it back to life. That's what it was. And then COVID hit, and now you see the COVID study showing you it's affecting the gametes, which is a sex cell. And you see these that's how you do gene editing. If you want to change genes, you use the gametes, and you use a virus to deliver the changes you need